What are you doing in 2024 to prepare for what you know is already going to happen? They're telling you what's going to happen. What are you doing to prepare? And I'm not trying to be an alarmist, but at the same time, I get tired of listening to podcasts. I'm a finance nerd, so I listen to all the stuff, and everything is about running the plays and doing this and doing that. And I'm saying like, yo, the people that I talk to and the people that I want to help are people that need to be prepared for what this article calls it a crisis that's looming. What's up, people? Welcome to this episode of the Buy the Hood podcast or webcast, because I don't know how you're consuming this content. I'm your host as always. My name is Jimmy. I'm rocking Dolo today, but still want to bring you a quick pod because this is Wednesday and we deliver the pods on Wednesday. Stack Sats and Die Trying on Monday, and we are live every Friday, 7 p.m. Eastern. With that being said, we start off every show with gratitude. Want to say thank you to all of our supporters and everyone who looks out for us. Shout out to all the new subscribers on YouTube and the new people who like the page on Facebook. Do all the YouTubing and stuff, share, like, comment, subscribe, do all the good stuff. But I want to get right into today's topic, which is Social Security, right? We're going to talk about Social Security. I know a lot of people are saying, man, why are you talking about, Social Security? That's for older folks. But it's important because that is a lot of people's retirement plan. A lot of people don't, really take retirement too serious until it's too late. I know a lot of people that support us that they don't fall into those buckets, but I think it's important to have this conversation and put this kind of content out there because also a lot of times people be fronting as well. But it's an interesting article that came out. My fellow Bitcoiner, Larry Fink, now the CEO of BlackRock, has some thoughts on Social Security, and I thought I would have a conversation about this. There's a lot of bad information about retirement on the internet. People telling you the 401k is a scam. The deferred compensation, all the things that you see, all of these things are just tools. You have to know how to use it, how to make it most beneficial to you. But I think that the conversation about wealth has to shift in 2024. What I mean about that is it's imperative now that people just have an idea of how finances, debt, and things of that nature work. It's not about it's not about too much flossing, too much Sam Rothstein. It's not about buying things. But when you look at where the economy is, when you look at, the cost of goods and services right now, the idea of learning how to manage money, learning how to grow money at this point is a necessity. It's no longer that, a bunch of nerds and things are talking about online. The everyday person really has to understand what's going on around them, how money moves, how money works, and how it affects their everyday life, because everybody's life is being affected by the decisions that a small amount of people are making. But you see it at the gas pump, you see it at the grocery store, and it will have an effect on your life. So you really have to understand how the game is played, how it works, how to navigate, and how to prepare yourself and your family so you're not caught off guard or caught out there, and you really can take care of each other. So it's not about excess at this point. It's about survival. I like that title. It's not about excess. It's about survival. But let's talk about Social Security, right? Because I don't know how many people actually use Social Security in their planning. I talk to a lot of the FIRE community. Shout out to Afros on Fire, the Facebook group, which is phenomenal. And my brother, Don, for inviting me into the group. But looking and speaking to people in that group, there are a lot of ways that people calculate their FIRE number. The different instruments they use in FIRE. I don't know if I've ever heard anybody talk about Social Security as a part of that, but Social Security is something that's available as of right now, at least. But BlackRock CEO, and I'm going to read this article from Yahoo Finance for those that are listening to the audio version of this podcast. Appreciate you, because actually, from a numerical standpoint, you beat the video listeners by far. So want to make sure I show you some love. But I'm reading an article that I will link and put in the description, as well as the show notes in case you want to read the article. But BlackRock CEO says Social Security's retirement age is a bit crazy as crisis looms. So I'll read a little bit of this article and then have a little bit more conversation. So BlackRock CEO Larry Fink said his annual letter to investors on Tuesday, which he cited the immense strain on Social Security amid the aging of the U.S. population and the need to reform retirement system, given its looming insolvency. So he explained the economics behind Social Security, which collects taxes from people who are currently working to pay those in retirement who are receiving benefits. So during your working years, the government takes a portion of your income. Then after you retire, it sends you a check every month. The idea originates from pre-World War I Germany, and these old age insurance programs gradually became more popular over the 20th century, largely because the demographics just made sense. So then he gets to talking about how things have changed, right? So he says, think about someone who was 65 years old in 1952, which is the year he was born. If he hadn't retired already, that person was probably getting ready to stop working. But now think about that person's former colleagues, all the people around his age who he entered the workforce with back in the 1910s. The data shows that in 1952, most of those people were not preparing for retirement because they'd already passed away. So to make a long story short, or to paraphrase what he's saying is, people are living longer in 2024. So the strain on the system is a lot different. If someone actually made it to retirement in 1952, most of their peers were probably already gone. So the money that they were looking to collect didn't need to collect it. So the system was able to work differently than now. Now people are living longer, and it's a strain, right? So here's another point that he makes in the article. He said, Americans' longevity in retirement is straining the financial health of Social Security. So today, if you're married and both of you and your spouse are over the age of 65, there's a 50-50 chance that at least one of you will be receiving Social Security check until you're 90. So you'll be receiving a check, 25 years or so. That didn't happen years past. People died a lot younger. So this is putting a strain on the system. And the Social Security Administration itself says that by 2034, it won't be able to pay full benefits. So they're already putting it out there, unless something changes, so they're trying to figure out ways to keep this thing going as long as possible. But as of right now, as it's constructed, the Social Security Administration itself says by 2034, it won't be able to pay full benefits. And I know people saying, well, that's 2034. We are in 2024. That's 10 years away. And it's not that far. It's not that far. That will fly by. The article also says no one should have to work longer than they want to. But I do think it's a bit crazy that our anchor idea for the right retirement age, which is 65 years old, originates from the time of the Ottoman Empire. What his Fink is saying now is that age should be changed. 65 years of age shouldn't be the age in which someone can collect Social Security. So there are two ways to look at it. Just being objective and looking at the data. What he says is true. But who the hell wants to be 70 years old, like not being able to retire? That's so it's multiple ways to look at this. So here's the other part I want to read. An analysis by the Nonpartisan Committee for a Responsible Federal Budget last year found the average dual income of couples retiring in 2033 would see a benefit cut of 23%. So in current dollar annual benefits, that's about $17,400 they will not be getting, while a single income couple will see benefits cut by 13.1. So if you were using this, let's say you're watching, this video and you were someone nearing retirement, and this was part of your plan, you got 10 years to figure something out. I'll put it that way. So Fink also noted that the Netherlands has moved to address financial challenges impacting this pension fund. So what they do is they gradually raise the retirement age and automatically tie it to changes in life expectancy. So they use the data. So Fink also suggests that the U.S. should have a conversation about what the average retirement age should be, as well as ways to incentivize more people to work longer rather than retiring to boost the labor force participation rate. But again, life has to be more about just labor, right? Because labor is different depending upon who you talk to, right? Everybody has a different idea of how labor actually works. Some people work hard for a living. And what I mean by that is physically. But even it can be draining, even working on a white collar type thing. So my whole thing is, if you see this, right, and they're giving you the information about what's happening in 10 years from now, what are you doing in 2024 to prepare for what you know is already happening? What are you doing in 2024 to prepare for what you know is already going to happen? They're telling you what's going to happen. What are you doing to prepare? And I'm not trying to be an alarmist, but at the same time, I get tired of listening to podcasts. I'm a finance nerd, so I listen to all this stuff. and everything is about running the plays and doing this and doing that. And I'm saying like, yo, the people that I talk to and the people that I want to help are people that need to be prepared for what, this article calls it a crisis that's looming. And it's bigger than Social Security. Are you putting away for any sort of retirement? Do you have any sort of deferred compensation? Do you have a 401k? Are you saving money? What are you doing in general, right? So it's about just being able to take care of things as they come. Like, listen, if you didn't learn anything from the pandemic, life comes at you fast. You have to be prepared to feed yourself and your family, clothe yourself and your family, secure yourself and your family. Just the basic necessities is what I'm talking about, right? Not flossing, not Sam Rothstein. I'm going to say that again. I'm talking about being able to take care of yourself and your family. And in this instance right now, although the conversation is about Social Security, this is someone who's one of the most powerful men in the world. Some will even argue the most powerful man in the world, considering the organization that he is responsible for, stewarding, telling you that there's a crisis looming. And that's just one aspect of it, right? Our dollar is consistently losing its value. We're being inflated out of this world. Everything costs more. I don't care how much money you make. I don't care where your income is right now. You've been affected by the fact that things cost more. So you see that, then you see what's happening with Social Security. Like, this current system is fragile. So we got to be prepared. So what are you doing to get prepared? So with that being said, I just want to bring this quick pod to you. I think it's important to have these kind of conversations, not trying to be all doom and gloom. but what I do want to ask, I always like to leave each podcast with a couple questions. What are you doing to prepare yourself to take care of you and your family in the future when they are coming out telling you, like, they're not hiding this and just going to pop it up on you. They're saying it's crisis looming, and this is deeper than Social Security, although Social Security is what prompted me to want to have this conversation and bring this to the podcast. So what are you doing to prepare? Did you ever think about Social Security, or was that a part of your plan, or did you always just realize, like, it's not going to be there for me, so I'm doing something else? These are the questions I want to know from our audience. Leave it in the comment section or hit me up on social media. I'm at JW the Blueprint. Our company's at By the Hood. I'm everywhere. You can find me on Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it. I don't spend too much time on Threads. Like, I got a Threads account. I don't think I've been on there in months. I spend most of my time on Nostr now. Nostr, or it's right here on YouTube. Right here, YouTube, Facebook. Leave a comment. Let us know how you feel. What are you doing to prepare? And was Social Security ever a part of your plan at all? With that being said, every Monday, our Bitcoin show, Stack Sats or Die Trying, drops. Every Wednesday, we drop a short pod. And on Friday, we are live. Our live show is Friday. We have fun. We talk about all kinds of stuff, personal finance, movies, pop culture. But we also do a Bitcoin giveaway. We give away Bitcoin every Friday at 7 p.m. So make sure you pull up for the live show. With that being said, please answer the questions. Let me know how you feel about Social Security and what are you doing to prepare, man. Like, I think these are serious times, and we got to have serious conversations. With that being said, appreciate all the support. Love you guys. And as we always say, it's not about how much money you make. It's about how much you keep. Game elevates. And I'll see you on the next episode. Peace.